What you guys, got another mini PC review. This is the mini PC from GEEKOM. It's a mini IT12. It's an i7 and 32 gigabytes of RAM in this particular version. They do two other flavors. Plenty of room for upgradability in this particular mini PC, as you'll see a little bit later on in the video. So let's take a look what you get inside the box. You're going to get yourself your VESA mount here, your HDMI cable. You're going to get your user manual here, which gives you all the information about the actual unit itself. You've also got your thank you card, which is your warranty card. You've got your power adapter and also your UK plug for the UK version. If you're in another country, you'll get a different type of plug. Inside here, we're also going to get some screws for the VESA mount, and also we've got our adapter here. You can also get the mini PC itself, and we'll take a look in more detail of what you're actually getting for your money. So let's take a look at the mini PC in more detail. This one is a blue color. It does have a plastic coating on there, which I forgot to remove. But on the front, we do have our power button, our 3.5mm headphone jack on here, and two USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports on the front. So moving on to one of the sides, we've got our Kensington Lock with some ventilation. And on the other side, we have our SD card reader here. And on the back, this is where all of the ports are. We've got our DC jack port. We also have our HDMI 2.0 ports. We have two of those. We have our 2.5 gigabit Ethernet LAN port on here, a USB 2.0 port, also another USB 3.2 Gen 2 port. And on here, we have our USB 4 40 Gbps 8K at 60 Hertz. We have two of those on here as well, which is very nice indeed to have those. Have a look inside the actual unit itself. So on the top part of it, you can see we can put an SSD in here. So if you want more storage, you've got plenty of storage inside this little mini PC. So in here, you can put up to a 2 terabyte SSD on this top slot here. There is a cooling plate here as well with an actual thermal pad on it, which is to cool down the NVMe drive, because this comes with a 1 terabyte NVMe drive in here. This is Alexa NVMe drive. So it's going to get fast speeds on here as well. Also, you can see next to this one here, we have that M.2 2242 SSD slot there as well. And there is our NVMe drive right here as well. So you've got plenty of room for storage in here. The actual memory itself, as you can see, is Lexon memory. And this is dual channel DDR4 3200 SODIMM memory here. This one is up to 64 gigabytes you can put in here. It does come with 32 gigabytes, this particular version inside this unit here as well. Now, this version also is the i7 version. The Wi-Fi on this one is 6E AX211, and that is the support for the actual Wi-Fi on here as well. So we've got plenty of expandable storage inside here if you want something with more storage capabilities. Plus, you can put in an external drive in here with plenty more storage as well. Let's take a look at the full specs here. You can pause the screen here if you wish. So the processor in this one is the i7-12650H. That's 10 cores and 16 threads with 24 megabytes of cache up to 4.7 gigahertz. The graphics is the Intel Iris Xe. Now we also have multi-screen display support on this one up to 8K resolution. And as you can see, we've got efficient cooling system on this one as well, with Windows 11 Pro pre-installed, which is a nice added bonus. So we have 32 gigabytes of RAM in here, which is also upgradable. It does come with Windows 11 Pro 22H2 installed, which means you will be able to update that to 23H2. Having a quick look in the BIOS here, it's a pretty basic BIOS. You've got in your boot area, your security, and also the main screen. You're not going to be able to overclock or undervolt or anything like that inside this BIOS because it's pretty much locked down. So let's do some benchmarks here now. I'm going to do first the drive benchmark. You can see here 5023.48 on the reads and also 4471 on the writes for the actual drive speed here, which is pretty impressive for a little mini PC. So if you're looking for a PC with plenty of performance and plenty of power, then this little mini PC is going to be ideal for you to be able to do all of your video editing and also photo editing as well. And if you're looking for something that's small and lightweight, that doesn't use a lot of power, then something like this is going to be right up your street. So we're going to look at the Geekbench 6 benchmarks here. The single core is 2,356, and on the multi-core, we're getting 9,630 on Geekbench 6. Let's have a look at the GPU benchmarks here for Geekbench as well, so we can see what they are like. And that is 11,487 on the GPU Open GL score there. Let's take a look at the 4K streaming on this device to see whether it handles 4K streaming. So I'm going to go onto YouTube and put 4K inside here, put Stats for Nerds up so you can see them. You get a few drop frames here, but there's no real problem with the actual streaming once it stabilizes. And again, you'll be able to watch all your 4K movies, stream these down, or even put Plex on here and play all your Plex movies straight on here. No problem at all if you want to use this for a Plex server. Let's do the Jellyfish here and do this test here. This is quite a stringent test for a mini PC. This is Jellyfish 400 Mbps, 4K, Ultra HD, HEVC, 10-bit file. And you can see I am stopping and starting this, no problem at all, dragging it along. And it's playing that file with ease. It really is. Like I said before, if you want to put all your Adobe products on here, photo editing or video editing, you can handle all that. I'm just going to install GIMP here just to show you quickly how fast this processing power is. But with this amount of performance, you should be able to do video editing on here, no problem at all. So because it's got an i7 processor in here with 32 gigabytes of RAM, you should be able to edit a 4K video on this without any issues. So you can see it opened up this actual GIMP here very easily. And this is quite a powerful program to run on a mini PC, and it had no problem at all. I'm not going to do any sort of editing on here. Let me just expand this here so you can actually see what it actually looks like here. So again, if this was Adobe Photoshop, it would have no problem doing that task for you. If you want to turn this into a retro gaming system, you can use something like this hard drive here. This is an external hard drive. I'll try and leave a link in the video description for you. But basically, this is a 2 terabyte drive. It's tons of games on here, and you'll be able to play all of these games on this mini PC. All you need to do is plug it in, install the software there, and you should be pretty much go to play all of your retro games. There's loads of games on here, and I'll quickly set this up and show you what it looks like. So here we go, we're going to play some games here, and no problem at all playing these old retro games. Again, this is not an out-and-out gaming system, even though it can play some games at lower resolutions. Remember, you're not going to be able to play, 2K games or 4K games on this little device. It's not going to be able to manage that. And even 1080p gaming, you've got to be pretty selective on some of the games that you're playing. And then even then you would have to turn down some of the actual settings to make it more playable. And that's why I try not to show any sort of AAA listed games and running them at 720p, because I think that's pretty pointless. If you're going to be buying a mini PC like this, then this is sort of where you want to pitch your gaming at this sort of level, really. And you can go and play a lot of retro games and things like that. There's plenty of games on the Windows Store as well where you can play all those games with no problem at all. But if you're looking to play AAA listed games, then yes, it will play some of those, but you will need to drop down the settings and the resolution for those games to play at a reasonable frame rate. Otherwise, you will struggle, because obviously at the end of the day, this is onboard graphics with a mini PC. I get that question probably the most out of all of them. Will this be able to play AAA listed games? And of course, there's your answer right there. So there is the actual gameplay on this little mini PC. Really super silky smooth, no problem whatsoever. And GEEKOM are making some pretty decent mini PCs right now. So if you're looking for a cheap and affordable mini PC that's got good quality parts in it and also has plenty of performance, then check out some of the links in the video description. So that is the GEEKOM Mini IT12. This is the 12th gen processor in here. This is the i7 version that you're looking at right here with that price, £509. It's on a discount at the moment. But again, if you're looking for a mini PC with plenty of power, then something like this is going to be ideal for you. And I think that's going to be about it. So if you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'd be happy to try and answer your questions for you. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Just want to say a quick shout out to all my YouTube members who have joined my YouTube members group. I really do appreciate the support, guys. I shall catch you in the very next video, or I'll see you on the Discord server for a chat. Have a lovely day, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye for now.